Live from Canada, it's the SSN podcast with your host, Larcher, Colin, and Liberty. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Select Start Network podcast. I was about talking about the college back into my old spiel for a hot second there. I was gonna have to introduce everyone, and I remembered. Oh wait, I have an intro for that now. I don't need to do that. It's so hard, but somehow. But yeah, you may have noticed we're a three-man team today. We don't have Michael or Colin. Colin had already given me a heads up in advance. And he died, so may he rest.
He died.
Yeah, who's dead? Yeah, that chick into his arteries.
Oh, is he gonna have a resurrection? Is he having a resurrection arc later this week though?
I mean, look, it depends how his numbers are when he does worships.
Depends what the fans say. They're gonna vote on it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to vote on it. And see, Colin, he's actually resting on safe. That's
Wait, Colin's dead too?
yeah. Not on that for not.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was the canonical thing for us. I've already died once then,
yes,
apparently.
Yeah. See, really, we're just talking to you're a Force ghost.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I die about weekly.
Look, I just die inside every day, okay? Don't worry about it. But yeah, we're going to be a three-man show. We got some stuff we could talk about. There's a couple things we got to talk about. One of them, it's a topic that Michael brought up the way that I want to talk about. It's not exactly what I want.
Okay.
So he put in a topic, and this, or he, female, would you bang if you're married in a relationship or for those or whatever? And I sat there and I'm like, sorry. And I sat there and I'm like, okay, who would I bang? Then I stopped and I'm like, no, like this is not something that I've thought about. And this is not an insult to Mike.
Oh,
topic, but it's like I find people attractive, but like the idea of like, can I bang has not been a thought that I've had since I was. If I was to go back and think about it, I'd be like, hey, I went back then, it'd be like Trish Stratus, Stacey. Like all the female wrestlers, pretty much. That's who I crush on.
Just naming wrestlers. The Rock.
He's not wrong. I mean,
come on. Mankind.
The Rock can take me right now.
I'll have Mr. Socko in, but I don't. I've seen where it's been, so I know I want that.
So was the question more of who you would bang, or is it like celebrity crushes? Because I feel like.
Well, no, it became this idea of like the idea of wanting to just bang someone. It doesn't appeal to me anymore. It's not something that I think it's a go-to. I had to think about it too. It's like, and Tracy brought this up, and she's like, "Yeah, but what if like this is a two-way street?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, they're not just like a fucking doll. Like they're not just like they're sitting here like do whatever you want. That's not sexy. That's exactly. So let's just say theoretically, I'm like, you know, Ryan Reynolds, he's and like, yeah, sure. Then what if we find out, like this is a two-way. This man's like, oh, I just want to bite your balls. That's how I get turned. Like, I just want to crunch and crunch until I hear a vein pop. What if that's his kid? Do you still want to bang Ryan Reynolds? Is that still something that you're looking forward to?
This may be a controversial opinion, but I believe that Ryan Reynolds is a pillow princess. If you know what that is.
What is that?
Yeah, hold on a second.
A pillow princess is just like a supreme bottom. It's like you got to take care of me. You got to do most of the work. I'm just here for like you to, you know. I feel like Ryan Reynolds kind of has that vibe. Like he'd be like you know. Oh, I still got my Batman actually. But he'd be like you handle the job. I'm here to look
you service me type of thing.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm a rusty car, and I need to get some. I need you to take that rust off. I need you to polish me. I'm in a dirty boy.
He's so pretty that he has that vibe, right? Like,
I just picture him as Deadpool the whole time.
so you'd be into it.
Like giant cancer tumor everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. God. Yeah. He takes off his Ryan Reynolds suit, and that's what he is underneath.
Secretly, we've been seeing what he actually looks like in the Deadpool movie. I see what you mean. That's his true face.
And that baby hand, when it grabs your dick, it makes it look so big.
All right, I'm out. I'm out on that one.
But it is this idea of like, yeah, like, would that change for you? So like theoretically, who do you find attractive, male or female? Who do you find attractive in this?
Do I just gotta pick one right now?
Yeah, just throw one out.
All right. I think her name is Zaza Beetz, the girl who plays Domino in Deadpool 2. I think she is. I've said this to Carrie before, and she hates it, but I think she is absolutely smoking.
Yes, yeah, okay, all right. So Zaza Beetz comes to you. Look, we're gonna have a night. I'm gonna take you out. It's gonna be nice. We're gonna have a fancy
She's
dinner.
Gonna take me out.
Well, like, we're not together, because again, this is like I'm a doll. Do whatever you want. It's bro. We're gonna converse, and you start finding out like really fucked up things, but whatever, whatever. It's Zaza Beetz. She used Domino. She's cool. That face paint was pretty gnarly. But then when it comes to the bedroom after a night, you guys go to see like a jazz concert or something. I don't know, some performance, some poetry. I don't know what they're into. And then fucking you guys get to that bedroom, get there, on surgical, and you're like, what? What's happening? And she's like, I really like that meme from 4chan where you rip open your asshole, face in there, and she's like, I want to be that face. Do you still want to fuck her? Do you still want to do things to her? You know what I mean? Like, what line is crossed for you that it's too far?
Well, here is the thing though.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't.
Okay, I was about to say no. I still would. I thought
I would not. I guess extremely personal. I'm very protective of my beehole. Don't want anybody rooting around in there. But in a situation, with my girlfriend, we've got trust. We have all this established. I'm willing to test things out further. Then
you're gonna go there
first. Here's the thing. First date with the girl, and she's like, "I want to rip open your asshole." I'm like, no fucking way. But somebody I've established trust and all this stuff with, like, it's different, right? It is like, like,
is it? Would you let your girlfriend just like
okay, that's
open the curtain and see what's there? I'm
not doing that under any circumstance. That is no go for me. But I'm just saying in general, they're two different situations, and if one person was going to push the envelope for my comfortableness, it's not going to be Zaza Beetz on our first date.
Sorry, Zaza.
We got to get to know each other first. I'm sorry. Yeah, like she would ever be at my level, but that's okay.
All right, what about you, Tom? What about you? Is there someone that you find attractive, and is there a limit to what
let rip open your asshole? That's the bar right now.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman can do anything to me. Done. Open her up.
Okay, but like serious though, like real life, it happens. Like your
asshole's about to get ripped open.
No, obviously not. No.
Okay.
You have to consider what right? You have to consider what is our kids, right? We're not teenagers, horny little immature, obvious.
That's all.
Yeah.
So I feel bad. I want to put a public apology out to Zaza Beetz for throwing her name into that.
Into my asshole.
What happened? Yeah, like what the fuck?
But it is this idea of like, yeah, I don't know. These aren't like, that's from what Michael put there. That is the first time I've ever even in 50 have I thought about, maybe, in 10 years when I was 23, when I was still like blossoming as an adult, that might have been something that crossed my mind. Nowadays,
blossoming.
Yeah, all right. I was a late. I hit you. Have to fuck. All right. I might have a crackly voice every now and then. You know.
That beer just went poof one
Yeah.
day.
It's just like it's not something that comes to mind. Not, I don't know. Is it like, is there something that from that you would still think about now? Like anything. Is there any, like, do you still sometimes go into that childlike imagination where like you start picturing you with superpowers or becoming Batman or anything like that? Is that still something that every now and then pops into your mind, or is that just dead and gone?
I think for me, I still have that sort of, but it's like a lot more analytical and developed now. So now I think when I think about like, oh man, sometimes I'm just like, I wish I was a superhero or something like that. I don't just picture myself as copying Superman or copying the Flash. I'm like, I'm gonna be a depth character who's got a tragic backstory and he's an anti-hero and like, it's like I do have that sort of childish like idea, but it's just my imagination is more suited towards actual content now. So I tend to think of things in a very like in a way that it would actually appeal to audiences and shit. Like I think about like I wouldn't want to just be this Wonder Bread character that can do all this good stuff. I want to have weaknesses. I want to. But then at that point, it's less about like just oh man, I want to be a superhero. It's more about like I'm making this cool character
Yeah,
that I'm
so
thinking of.
what it sounds like to me, you're more building a story, not just
Yeah.
imagining as whatever.
Yeah, and like thinking like, man, I'd love to fucking laser some kid at school. Like, not in that brain. Like, I think it's like, I have a vivid imagination though. Like, that's just who I am. I fucking dream all the time, and my dreams never make sense. But like, I guess that's still a little bit of that childlike, right? That like yearning for something else, but often though, it's like different though, because I'm less like I wish I was this character, this hero, whatever. I'm more like, damn, this character would be cool to watch in a TV show or something. I'm like, it's more about me making a character I find interesting, less about me thinking about turning myself into, you know, because like I don't know, because I always think when I think about like cool characters, I think about the edgy characters that kill people and stuff. But I think about myself, I would never have the willpower
Yeah.
to like openly kill someone. I would feel too awful about it all the time. So like I couldn't be these things, but I think that's just like an imagination, right? It's the same stuff, just you're translating it into something that could be actually applicable.
Yeah.
Still waiting for my powers to come. Like
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to develop.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about what they would be, but so far nothing.
Like it happened to fucking Invincible when he was 18. I'm 34. Where are my superpowers?
Any day now.
Yeah.
Any day now.
Hi, Bodhi.
Fucking,
Bodhi, you want to one thing?
fucking, what the fuck? Oh yeah, like, when's J.K. Simmons gonna be my dad? When is he gonna tell me? Think, Tom, think. When is he gonna beat me down to a bloody ass?
Oh my god. Okay, this is really off topic, but there's like a voice simulator AI where you can like take people's voices and then put in words and it will like, it sounds wonky, but it will. So people are just putting in his voice and doing like monologues with think mark at the end. And there's just one that was like, it was like, Mark, you think you're thirsting over an ancient vampire lady with huge tits. You gotta think, Mark. You gotta think. Like just J.K. Simmons yelling. Oh, fucking killed me.
That was a voice for the memes.
Well, that's one thing that internet, right? It's people will either, well, it's happened where this meme now being like driven to the ground where like it's had its time, and then there every now and then a bit more that voice modulator, and then just have more fun with it. I think it's the sad part of the internet culture. Like it will forever just someone will still 5,000 views. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
think
still
that
get rickrolled daily.
But the thing is, memes are so. What I love about them is that they always they hit like normal meme. It's a joke, and then it dies out, and then it's like played out, and you're like, this is awful. But then it ironically comes back, and then people are using it because it's dead. and it's not funny, so you're using it stupider. And then it kind of dies again, where it's like, why are you still making these jokes? And then it almost has like a post-ironic, like Rickroll was ironic, and then everybody was like, this is a boring again, and then now it's funny again, kind of. Because it's like, why are you Rickrolling somebody? That's like from 20 years ago, but they have such a weird life cycle to them.
It's funny that Rick Astley, same thing. Astley, the Rickroll, or like he went from obviously, you know, not to obscurity, but this happened. Gets Nerd Party again. He does the Mace parade. I was about to say the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. As a Rick, he does fucking the songs actually called "Never Gonna Give Up," and then he kind of fades again, and then fucking Dave Grohl gets him on stage again to do "Never Gonna Give You Up," pops again, and now he actually has a pretty good following on YouTube when he does covers of other. Like he did of Everlong, and holy shit, it is actually really good. Like, that cover of Everlong is, and you forget, like, wow, like Rick Astley, it's actually a really good fucking singer. It is insane. And Smash Mouth is another example of that. So All Star, they had their 90s hits, their late 2000s, kind of, whatever. And they had the All Star from in the movie. And then it came back hard with Shrek. And then that became the meme for the longest time was All Star Shrek, Shrek All Star, whatever. Then they started song again. Good. Unironically, I like this. And now it's to the point where people are liking. And this is all because of fucking me. It's weird that sometimes aren't necessarily a toxic thing. Like, it is toxic, an unfortunate joke, but then it comes back around for some people. It actually like gives them a second chance or a third chance for some to a career. It just kind of boggles my mind. It's actually a thing.
Dude, memes are marketing. Memes are marketing now. They are. Like, when you think about it, I'm guaranteeing a handful of people watched Invincible after seeing that weird, like that Omni-Man, like rant thing, and then the memes and shit. And they're like, okay, because people are like, well, I want to see what this is about. And then if the show's good enough, it hooks them. If they don't like it, it doesn't. But like, I think about that all the time. Like, I'll see clips, I'll see weird shit from like movies and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck is that from? And then you go down a rabbit hole, and now I'm somewhat invested time in this other product just because I saw some stupid meme about it, or I saw like, a clip. Like, it's so, marketing is so weird now that you can't even like, I don't even know how you pin it down. Like, make it TikToks, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, it's so weird.
It is that thing. I would love to see that float, that Nielsen's rating or whatever, right? Of a movie, a show or movie comes out as it's. Then the meme gets released because now people are watching the show, so they can talk about that meme, and then from there, I want to see if there's another peak of show interest, film interest. I want to see if stupid, dumb, fucking jokes on the internet are actually influencing the financially these, like, it was a meme, released the Snyder Cut. That was a fucking meme where people were jokingly wanting the version Justice League, but then
that wasn't jokingly.
A lot of
it
people,
was at first.
They wanted it.
A lot.
At first, it was just like, oh man, the Snyder Cut. Like, I heard that it's got this and that, and then all that. But then people are like, "But we do, like, is that a thing? We want that though. Is that a thing?" And then Zach there's like, "I'm doing it, boys," and they're like, "Do it, Zach, please."
I mean, like, well, it is, and it's crazy because like it is where more and more unfortunate news started coming about Joss Whedon. What else to say?
Creep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like an abuser, emotionally, physically, verbally, like all of it, right? And it's at that time that's the more and then the movie gets, the Snyder Cut idea gets more interest and more more looks on it because the gentleman who Victor Stone played Cyborg, like WB cuts him.
Fisher,
Yeah, they cut him from Cyborg movie. He's gone now, and he starts being vocal about what happened with Joss Whedon, and like so, there's more eyes now over a fucking hashtag of release the Snyder Cut, meant for jokes at one point, and then became serious. And the fucking Ben Affleck back as Batman. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not something you would think would actually happen, but it is. Our stupid internet culture is literally influencing films.
Saved the DC universe.
Because a lot of people say that the Snyder Cut is very much so what did from DC at the time, with how it was brought up with Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and with Wonder Woman. That this is the version that was needed to help explain things and also set the rest of the time.
Well, and I think too, I didn't realize at the time, but I'm guaranteeing a lot of why Henry Cavill wanted out, Ben Affleck wanted out, was probably Joss Whedon on that movie.
Yeah,
he definitely pushed them away, I think, because you see your co-stars getting fucking harassed. You see this megalomaniac just shouting shit about your career and shit. And you're a big actor like Ben Affleck or Henry Cavill, or even Gal Gadot. Did you see what she did when he wanted to shoot that one scene? She's like, I'm not fucking doing that. Yeah. And he was like, oh yeah, do you want me to ruin your next Wonder Woman movie? And then she's like, what the fuck? So all of them, like fantastic actors, like why the fuck would you want to come back to an environment like that?
Yeah.
So I think I'm interested now that it's like they're probably going to say, they're like, yeah, I'll come back, but just keep that motherfucker out of the picture and let's try and make these movies interesting.
I think there was a lot of things that were very timed out when it came to like the Snyder Cut. Like companies and even celebrities, and to get their way, which is kind of what's happening. You time everything out properly. With the release of the Snyder Cut, hashtags went up. When all that started, Zack Snyder kept his cards close to the chest. He didn't say anything.
Yeah, that's true.
He barely said anything, and then once he started getting the ball rolling on his end, then he starts like just slipping out little things, like the Army of the Dead, picture reels or whatever they're called. And over time, everything was played out, and then the Joss Whedon stuff came out right around the same time that the Snyder Cut was just about coming out, which everyone started hating on WB for, and companies are just starting to use social media a lot more. Like a lot of memes, I think, are made by companies now.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Did you see all the? Well, we saw the trailer for Resident Evil 8, and then everybody went wild because of habongos.
Yeah,
So what did Capcom do? They started making TikToks about it. They started making edit of her being hot. They released fucking body pillow of her. They're like, we know what you guys like, so we're just gonna keep doing this shit.
You horny fucks.
And but then instead of fans being like a lot of times, I think when there's marketing employees that are really obvious, people are like, okay, like we don't gotta do that. But in this instance, they're like, I can't believe Capcom's actually doing this. What the heck? I gotta play this game now. They sold into it. They sold into the meme, and it paid out for them. Yeah. Generated a shit ton of interest. Honestly, I think making a horror game where a main antagonist is just a 9-foot tall MILF is just gonna. It's a good idea in any respect.
I'm gonna be real with you. I would barely call her a main antagonist. Fucking.
I actually, yeah, I've seen stuff, but I mean, they make it look like she's gonna be.
Yeah. Also, it's okay. We're not gonna dwell too much on it. We've talked about it a bit, but there's one thing I want to mention, and it was the saddest trying to grab onto the hype of like interest while, and it was just, and I guess she does ASMR, YouTube, whatever. My wife watches ASMR stuff sometimes. I don't know, chill out or go to whatever. I personally can't. That's just. But she goes and I find this by accident. Wow, I think where it's like, oh, you won't believe this ASMR Lady Dimitrescu cosplayer goes all out with I'm like, okay, let's see. I click the video. It's an ASMR video. It's this woman who's kind of dressed like I'm like, okay, all right, you got the outfit, you back, you got the wine glass and stuff. And then she starts talking, and I'm like, okay, well, not putting an accent, not trying to sound like her. You're just you dressed as Lady Dimitrescu, pretending to be Lady Dimitrescu, and you're not even doing things. You're just like, listen to me. Play with the rim of the wine. Are you thirsty? This is not Lady Dimitrescu. Like, what? Like, this is what is this trash, man? Like, that is the part of the internet that I hate.
Do you like when I play with that? Like, but then you play the game and she's like, "I'll catch you, man, filth." And
yeah, like,
oh yeah,
your tainted blood will not be good for my daughters. And then when you kill her daughters, it's like, it's pretty much like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, she's so mad, which is good. I really like that.
Yes,
but that's not the ASMR.
Imagine in the middle of that, she just like pulls her glove off. You like how that sounds.
And like, it's just so disappointing sometimes when like there's like clear interest in some things, other people cash grab, know they can get something out of this, and then they'll. And
the porn industry has done that forever.
Yeah, yes. With all the parodies, all those.
Yeah. How many characters in porn like versions are like the characters they get? It's always like they take the strong female who has like these really good characteristics and stuff in a video game, and then just like she gets there, she's like, "Oh no, I gotta suck your dick to get the mission details." And it's like, that's not what Tomb Raider would do.
That's Batgirl with Joker. Like, tell me where they are. Yeah, where is he? It's like, this is not. A little uncomfortable here. Batgirl's a very strong, independent woman, and she just
But like,
rub it off the Joker to get some information.
But to be fair, you're the person who clicked on Batgirl takes it up the ass. So like,
yeah, you are the
not
filth.
Really that great either.
You are the scum of the earth. That is right. That is.
Right. I mean that like I can understand. Well, yeah, I understand the exploitation of the characters there because I mean. It's porn. That's what they're gonna do.
And like, there's a lot
of the ASMR thing. Yeah. It's like, are you making like softcore porn? Like, is that what you're trying to? Because like they like watch me take off my glove and rub this wine glass. It's like, because I've seen other ASMR and they're just like describing things. It's not inherently sexual, but she puts like you put on a lady whatever costume and then you're like. Do you like that, big boy? What can you imagine if she talked like that in the game? Just horny as shit.
That's the thing, right? And like, and that's this is coming from someone, which personally, play the game, just saw images and they saw how the internet thirsted for, and they like, oh well, clearly kind of character that she, and it's like, but no, not. Just do 5 minutes of research and you would know. Like, it's not that fucking hard, bro.
But you know what, Justin? She probably got like 10 million views or something. She got the bag on it because people are gonna watch that. So like, it's not gonna be 10 million views, but it's like people are going to watch that even though it's not accurate and it's not whatever. That's what people are gonna be more interested in. Yep. Maybe not the hardcore Resident Evil fans, but boys who don't know how to use Safari good enough will. Like, I don't know.
All right. So thankfully, that's 360,000 views. Didn't hit a million.
That's still a lot, though.
That's still a lot. It's still a lot. But there it is. Okay. She's a blossoming. Right, but YouTube, and then this video. Is what it's getting a little good for her.
Get the bag, girl.
I get it. No, I'm not. I don't want to hear it again. Don't play it again. I want to hear it. But yeah,
I get you're not criticizing her for what she's done. You're just criticizing the kind of the objectification of female characters in general. Like, it's just you see a character with certain physical appearance, things about her physical appearance, and then it's like we're gonna take that and run with it. We're not gonna regard the character, but that's less a product of her. That's just a product of the culture that surrounds it, right?
Yeah, and that they try to morph on or whatever, and like they try to. If they see a character, go with that, and they try to manipulate it, and it becomes a hot take for them. And it just sucks. And that's my segue to talk about one of the other topics that we got going. Hot take. All right.
Oh wait, can I? Sorry,
yes.
can I just one? Going with Resident Evil. 1 point. A take I really like, and I think it's fun, is because people will like say like, "Oh, Leon is this big hot dummy," and it's like, well, he kind of is like a himbo. Like Leon is like kind of just like a sexy dude who doesn't always make the best decisions. So it's kind of fun when you do that with it.
Yeah, so
maybe like
that's different.
I don't know.
There's comedy involved, and it's funny, and and like,
but it goes with his character. That's what Leon's like.
Yeah, like in Resident Evil, bad about him, that he's just action. You know what I mean? And then in 2, in the remake, they really put that up where he's like, I'm a chick. That, and it's like, okay, all right, Leon. No, I get it.
See Leon in a Speedo, and I'm like, yeah, probably. Like, I don't know. Anyway, sorry, going back to what you were saying, hot takes.
Yeah, hot takes. So it happened a couple times throughout the week, in the Discord. And it's something that I figured we can all talk about right now, where it doesn't have to be films, it doesn't have to be music, anything. Do you have a hot take, or a take that you have that everyone else is they don't agree with? That's the best way.
Weezer sucks.
Well, so for you it could have been Weezer sucks, right?
But I feel like that's not a hot take. I feel like you rather like him or you don't. That's just how you are.
Yeah. Well, so for me, it was like, and I pissed off a lot of people with it. And at first, it was just my honest opinion, and then I won't lie, I kind of dove more into it because that's just who I am. And it was that the Austin Powers franchise is pretty garbo. Like, it is absolute. It is absolute trash. And I know that Tom's sitting here right now down below. And for me, it's like because someone had posted a GIF, a GIF from obviously Austin Powers, and it was okay, and I just posted like, oh man, what a terrible movie, what a terrible franchise, or something like that. And then a bunch of people were just like, what are you talking about? Campbell and Lepp and a couple others jumped onto it, like, you're fucking nuts, you're not wrong. I'm like, am I really? Myself, which was the first one, is the only good Austin Powers movie, because there are jokes in there that are repeated, like it's a callback. Like, oh, remember when Austin Powers peed?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, it's an Austin Powers 2, and he needs to hide behind a statue, and he has to pretend that he's peeing because it's a fountain of a statue. So he has to pee forever. So he eats asparagus. He does this. And it's the same pee joke over and over. Or from 2 to 3, it's the abuse that Mini-Me gets. Like, Vern Troyer just gets beaten up.
I fucking love that. I love every second of that.
But like the first time, all right, it's in the first one, it's funny. But in the second one, man, like he gets punted like a football and like all that stuff. And I'm just sitting. The mole joke gets repeated so many times. It's just like, Mike Myers does an awesome job impersonating. There's no doubt about that. I love does that. It's just he doesn't always arc. Like Goldmember, not good. That was, Fat Bastard.
Disagree. Fat Bastard 2 was great.
See, look, the Fat Bastard was good in the first one. I did not like in the. I thought, like in his first appearance, I don't like the second appearance. Of like, and it's such a second. Is it the second one? They steal his mojo, which is just like they steal his clock juice. That's literally what the fucking premise of the second one is. And I'm just sitting, I'm like,
you can't get a horny anymore. That's what Austin Powers does best.
Obviously, it didn't help that they hit like the first one, all right, and this is just it's a mark of its time, all right, and I'm okay. It was that they had an Irish assassin who every time he kills someone, he leaves a mark, a symbol to show that there, and then those damn cops, they're always chasing me, always trying to get my Lucky Charms. And that's the fucking that's the level of humor in the entire franchise. And I'm just saying, I'm like, guys,
Yes.
I'm like, it's funny the first time, but like, how many times can you joke because something's flying in the air, or how many times like stop or you'll die?
You watch Kevin Smith movies, who literally does nothing but make dick and fart jokes.
No, there's a difference. He gets original with them. He doesn't do the same ones unless it's Jay and Silent Bob related, like Jay and Silent Strike Back or Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Or the whole purpose of those is to make fun of those things. There's a difference. You know, like in Chasing Amy doesn't do that. In Mallrats he doesn't do that. In Clerks he doesn't do that. Sorry, I got a reminder of. I just had a flashback. Well, yeah, and that's a hot take, and I've done it a couple of times where, like, another example, Andrew in the Discord goes and he writes me, okay? He decided to watch the newer ones, the Michael Bay ones, the ones that are just fresh. And he writes.
All right, there's my hot take right there. I like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, you don't.
I like the new ones. They're kind of fun.
No, hold on. They're
They are fun movies. They're not fantastic. They're fun.
Now, hold on. Are you saying they're fun movies because they're terrible and you can make fun of them, or you actually enjoy?
Okay. Yes, there's like not great moments that we can make fun of.
Okay.
But for the most part, I think that all the Turtles and Splinter and Shredder are all interesting and cool, and I hate all of the Megan Fox and Will Arnett stuff. But I think that the Turtles actually have decent chemistry considering they're 4 dudes in CGI, and they made Master Splinter like a fucking Ronin. Like he like fights off like 30 ninjas with his katana and his rat tail.
Let's talk about this for a second. That rat is the most disgusting, hideous thing I've ever seen.
But he's cool.
No, and they couldn't even get an Asian individual to play him. That's the whole purpose of the fucking character. They got Monk.
I didn't know that.
They got fucking Monk to play him. I can't remember the guy's name. He's a great actor, but my God, come on, man! It's so.
Oh, but there's cool shit in it.
No.
Dude,
they have a fart scene in an elevator, Lib. That was a joke.
They have a beatboxing scene in an elevator too, and it's cool.
Well, that part's cool. I'm not talking about the beatboxing part. I'm talking about the part where they fart in the elevator and it's somehow fucking funny because it's a stupid Michael Bay production.
Okay, I agree. I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah.
But there was cool shit in that movie.
But
when was the last time you watched it? When
I walked out of it in theaters.
Okay. That's a pretty hot take. But don't you remember the scene? Do you remember at all the scene where Splinter and Shredder actually fight?
Okay, sorry.
Because it's honestly pretty sick.
Pause. So it wasn't the first one I walked out on. It was the second one where Tracy and I were like, "Fuck this." It was a day shooting, a day filming, or like a day visit, and we're like, let's just watch something like Sam's in school. We have time together. Let's whatever. We catch the matinee. I think we're. And I just looked at me. We're like, fucking done with this.
I won't defend the second one. That one is considerably worse. I still kind of had fun with it. But the first one I actually genuinely like. And I think it all comes back to me is that I actually think that the 4 guys who played the Ninja Turtles who didn't get any press and got treated like absolute garbage on set, they did a fantastic job of bringing the Turtles to life. I think they did a pretty good job of being the Turtles. I think that the writing wasn't there for them, but they they did what they could. Also, going back to it, when Splinter and Shredder fight, it's awesome. Splinter is like holding Shredder's mask while he has his sword in his rat tail, like trying to get into his fucking eyes. It looks cool as shit.
I'm gonna say no because
I know you're gonna say no.
I'm also gonna say no. They were a travesty.
Yeah, for my biggest thing for that one, as I'm going to fight it, is the fact that Shredder isn't Shredder. The Foot Clan isn't the Foot Clan. There are fucking armed mercenaries, and the Turtles who are supposed to practice ninjutsu, who is like the whole idea is like they stay in the shadows and are secret, are literally surfboarding on each other or fucking snowboarding on each other down a mountain and shit, and they're flying around. Look at us, we're giant freaks of nature. Let's just go out in the public.
Stealthy there.
No, all right.
Don't you remember at the beginning of the movie when they can't catch them because they're being too stealthy, but they get caught because Raph is being brash and on his own, like Raphael does.
No, okay, no. Also, sorry, my biggest gripe.
Okay?
No, the biggest gripe I have is with Shredder, because instead of him being just a masterful martial artist that knows how to fucking take on anyone and like wreck house, they put him in a goddamn mech suit, a fucking mech suit.
Yeah, I kind of liked the magnetic swords thing. I thought that was kind of cool. I just wish that it was like he just had like wristbands on or something.
It's just
I think that was always what was dope about Shredder, is that he was just a dude.
A dude who, yes, and like he was vicious.
Beat up 4 turtles.
Yeah, like with ease. So
I'm not saying it's perfect. Here's my I just want to say I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's great. I'm saying I had a lot of fun with it, and there's highlights.
I get it.
You can disagree with that.
100%.
But
you're wrong. But 100%.
I'd say a gripe I did have is that the main bad guy wasn't really Shredder. It was like Shredder's apprentice who wanted to poison the city for some reason. And even though they fight Shredder at the end, like this dude was doing everything the entire time, and then Shredder just shows up and he's like, "I have this mech suit, Turtles.
Yeah,
fight me."
Yeah,
but then they use teamwork to beat him.
It's
like
just
the Turtles do.
Yeah, but it's not enough, man. It's not enough, and it's also. So this is the reason why I brought up the terrible Bay productions. Andrew goes and he writes, "Hey, like, I'm not gonna lie, got some good laughs out of the 2 movies. I just wrote no." And he writes back, "I don't know what to tell you. Like, they're bad movies, but but I'm enjoying them. I still can't believe they dragged Tyler Perry in to the sequel." And this is where I'm like, this is my hot take, I guess. And I'm like, and I'm going to step away from the microphone because I don't want to blow out everyone's ears. But I'm like, what do you mean? He does and this is me in caps, he does the Medea movies. He has no class. He is not someone who's like regarded as an amazing actor, or like, oh my God, I can't believe they brought Dame Judi Dench to play the fucking professor. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. And all he can write for Andrew is like, dude's made over $1 billion. I'm like, that doesn't change anything. That doesn't mean anything. The dude will do anything. He doesn't fucking care. He's a garbage actor who does garbage movies that made a franchise. It's the same thing as like when you look at, as a joke, I was about to say the Austin Powers thing, which I didn't. But it's like, if you take a look at fucking like the Shrek movies. The Shrek movies are not the best in the world. The first one's okay, and then there's a huge decline. But you can't.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you saying Shrek 2 is a decline in the Shrek movies?
Which one?
Kind of. He turns into a person. He rides on the horse to "I Need a Hero," and he's got Big Gingy backing him up, and they like siege the castle.
I will.
Shrek 3 has all of the female characters kicking ass to Barracuda. All right, no, I'm not getting into you about Shrek right now.
No, okay.
I'll go past Shrek 4. Shrek 4 and on is trad. Shrek 3 has some cool things. Shrek 2 is amazing.
Wait a minute. Is there more than anything after Shrek 4? Isn't Shrek
There's Shrek 5.
No, there's
what? 5 Shrek movies. I swear to God, there's 5 Shrek movies.
There's Shrek Forever After, which is the one where like he changes the fact that him Shrek and Fiona never met. I thought Shrek 5 was the potential reboot to the franchise.
Oh, it might be. Shrek 5
that
canceled?
The Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
No.
Tom.
Oh, okay. Shrek 5 is upcoming.
Yeah.
Film.
Okay.
I thought there was 5.
No.
My bad. Oh, I mean, I'm counting Puss in Boots in here as the 5th one.
Okay, I'll say this: Puss in Boots is a better movie than Shrek. I'm saying that right now.
I didn't watch Puss in Boots. I can't
Dude,
say
fucking Antonio Banderas, okay? An entire
that's
movie
not
of him.
fair.
What do you mean that's not fair?
Antonio Banderas is awesome. I watch any movie with
Except Puss in Boots, apparently.
I don't want to talk about it.
But yeah,
I'm
it is.
mad you dissed Shrek too.
Look, I'm telling you, right? Yeah, sure. It's cool. Hold on, I want to pull a lip here. There's some cool parts in the movie, you know, the chicks fight, the babes, the hot slut princesses. Sure, they fight.
How's that pulling a lip? I didn't see any of that.
But yeah, sure, you know, they fight. There's a couple cool moments here and there. It is an awesome, you know, women empowerment idea that they've had since the beginning.
That's in the 3rd one, actually.
Yes, but that's I mean,
the only scene I remember, to be honest.
But her name is Fiona, right? It is Princess Fiona?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Princess Fiona is like that throughout the entire franchise. That never changes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that much of like, oh my god moment in the 3rd one when we've had a strong female protagonist throughout the entire franchise.
It's still cool.
It's still cool, but it's not a reason why 3's a good one.
Heart.
Oh my god.
It's a cool scene.
Was it you who could remember the name of the band Heart? On stream, I can't remember
Yeah,
anymore.
it was me. Yeah,
it was you. Okay. Now you're just trying to be like, I remember. It's Heart. Any movie reference with the Heart band in it, I'm gonna bring it up now because I remembered them.
You know what? Fuck you.
He just disconnects.
The holiday special is better than anything that
your
favorite that fucking Kevin Smith puts out.
Your favorite Kevin Smith. Holy shit! But you know, it is. Yeah, it's this thing where, you know, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, and obviously, you know, diverse, you know, opinions on the movie. But what about you, Tom? Do you have like a thing that you believe is potentially a hot take?
Well, in this podcast, it's the love for Zack Snyder, I guess.
No, I appreciate him as a cinematographer and everything.
Yeah,
like I like him. I do recognize that some of his movies are trash.
I watched all of Sucker Punch. I have no good feelings for
And I love that movie. I absolutely fucking love that movie.
And I don't know why. I watched 300 and I loved 300 and I was like, this is cool. Zack Snyder's decent. Then I watched Sucker Punch and I went, what the fuck am I watching?
Did you watch The Watchmen?
Oh, that's true. I actually like The Watchmen.
Guys,
I do like Zack Snyder. I just don't like Sucker Punch, I guess. Yeah. Which is not a controversial opinion. Okay, what are some other Zack Snyder movies? I need to figure out if I like it.
In all honesty,
Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah, so Dawn of the Dead, the remake that he did years ago, which introduced, really popularized, I guess, running zombies, because they were like big on that one. Dawn of the Dead.
Didn't watch it, but I'll give him credit for that.
It's a really good movie. It's a fair remake of the original one. I think it's really good. Besides that, I mean, obviously there's Man of Steel, which I honestly think is an okay film. I like that film. I like Man of Steel.
I liked Man of Steel too. I liked it because it was fucking Superman Dragon Ball.
I mean, those fight scenes were pretty gnarly. But
it was like kind of a cool movie about setting up Superman as a character and his values and stuff. And then it was like, also you get Dragon Ball fight scene at the end. And I was like, okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Batman v Superman, I hated Batman v Superman.
All right.
Have you seen the Ultimate Edition?
I don't want to because the normal edition made me want to sleep. So I don't know that the Ultimate Edition would not make me want to sleep.
All right.
It makes it a coherent movie. That's what it does. But
all right. All right. Here we go. It's 3.5.
I don't know.
You'll watch Lord of the Rings, but you won't watch Batman v Superman. You piece of garbage. You fucking muff cabbage. Anyway, all right.
You're the only one. Who's like Lord of the Rings.
All right. Here we go. So Dawn of the Dead, like we said. I'm gonna hit the big ones because he's also, by the way, he is very well.
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah. Well, he started as a
music video
music director, and it shows like his visual eye, like his artistic eye is a lot of people can't compete with that. But yeah, Dawn of the Dead, 300, Watchmen, Legends of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. That was
I did not watch that.
That is a 3D movie.
can't believe he directed that. I remember reading those books back in the day. Can't believe they got Zack Snyder to make that.
Man of Steel.
I'm 50-50. From what I can see here, because I got the IMDb up.
I'm trying to Justice League, Hakuna. That doesn't mean anything. Zack Snyder. I like how there's Justice League and then there's Zack Snyder Justice League. Then he's got Army of the Dead. Well, he actually hasn't made that much for a director.
No, he hasn't.
Like for like big franchises and stuff. Like this man is relatively small, but it's insane because like we can pull his movies, like we can reference them right away. People know who he is. They know who Zack Snyder is, and they can recognize. A lot of people can recognize his films from his direction and his style. That is insane to think about. Wow,
he produced the second 300, but he didn't direct it.
No, by that time he might have been working on something else, right? Rise of an Empire, 2014. He probably was working on Man of Steel or something at that point.
Yeah.
Or sense. Batman v Superman, like who knows?
Yeah, there's a couple things he could have been working on. But yeah,
I'm
honestly,
50-50 on Zack Snyder.
See, and you thought you hated him. Hot take. You think you're lukewarm.
It's just Sucker Punch brings it down for me, and Batman v Superman. But like looking at I really did like 300. 300 was really cool. I think it's a total dude bro movie, and I think I love dude bro movies. I think that Man of Steel was I like the take on the character. It's kind of, it goes against why I really like Superman as a character though, because I actually really love Superman in the comics. But I kind of love him because he is like a Boy Scout. That's like what Superman's about. He's such a good guy who does like the right thing, and he'll like sacrifice anything to save people.
Okay.
That I guess he kind of does that in Man of Steel, except it's a little bit of a darker path. That was fun to explore for me. So I liked Man of Steel. Batman v Superman, I just found boring. I thought the last hour of it was kind of interesting. I thought the action was good, but I couldn't. There was 2 hours of me not being interested in the movie, and that was too much for me. And then Sucker Punch. I don't want to talk about it. But I didn't see Zack Snyder's Justice League, which would be like his vision of all this stuff coming together.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be the tipping point for me. Is I gotta watch it, and then if I really like it, then boom, I'm a Zack Snyder fan. And if I don't, then
both of you guys haven't seen that yet, right?
No, I keep wanting to, but
I can't commit to I have to commit to the 4-hour movie, but it's so hard for me.
For me, it is this issue right now where like for myself and Tracy, like we're in the middle of like starting the business up and like streaming, podcasting, editing, and all that stuff. And it's not a move that I want to have. I don't want this just on in the background because I believe without seeing it, I believe in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think I was a late adopter of the release of Snyder Cut. But seeing the bits and the extra things that he's brought in and whatnot, and like all these, I don't want to say I believe the hype, but I'm more on Tom's side. Like I'm more on like a 60-40 with this man because I 300 was a fun ride. Dawn of the Dead was fucking good. I really like Dawn of the Dead. Watchmen is a terrific. That is as close as as closest to the material of something as complicated as Watchmen as you can get. On the big screen, and he knocked it out of the park.
I think
that had me thinking for like weeks about it, like just running it over and over in my head after I watched that the first time.
And then
I think I liked Watchmen so much because I didn't know anything about about Watchmen.
Yeah,
I think that knowing background on the comics and stuff can change your perception of stuff. Like that's why we're so critical of comic book stuff, right?
Yeah,
but I think I had no ties to Watchmen, so I just thought I honestly didn't even know it was about a comic. Like I thought it was just like
an original story.
Yeah, and I saw it was based on a comic, and then comic book nerds were pissed, and it was, well, sorry, fucking I don't.
Comic books nerds.
Comic book nerds gets mad about everything.
Yeah, like fucking.
And I am one, so
the hardcore got mad because mostly because of the fucking ending. Like, I'm sorry he didn't have a giant squid octopus thing at the end of the movie. You know how bad that would have looked on screen? Like, fuck off, man. Like, he did the right call.
I just read something recently that he says if he were to do it now, he might have actually did the squid ending.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit. What was the time? Like 2007? that was like Batman. That was like the Dark Knight and shit. That was when superheroes got to be realistic.
Yeah, '09, yeah.
And honestly, I like the choice because it's in the comics, right? The giant squid shows up, and then the world teams up to fight the squid.
Yeah.
Whereas in the movie, it's like Dr. Manhattan makes himself to be the villain. Like he makes himself to be what the world needs to team up against.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the idea of like him ostracizing himself in order to save humanity. Like I feel like that's
it is.
but
it
like
is,
at the same time though, like I think a lot of people miss the point of the Watchmen,
yeah.
which is that all of these characters are fucked up.
Yeah, they're all flawed and broken.
Like
Yeah.
the owl dude literally can only get hard for beating criminals up. Like that's he cures impotence with being a superhero. That's not a good reason to be a superhero. Fucking what's his face? Rorschach has this holier than thou. I can kill people, but you can't. Like,
Yeah.
He's very much a critique of vigilantes. And Ozymandias just thinks he's better than everybody because he's smarter.
Yeah.
And he knows what he has to do. Like, it's all the characters are critiques of motifs of superheroes. I think a lot of people miss that because they're like, man, Rorschach's so cool. And I think Zack Snyder a little bit wanted the characters to be cool because that's just who Zack Snyder is.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he wasn't taking away from the fact that about how problematic all the characters are. He was just like, okay, Rorschach's problematic, and I'm going to show that, but I'm also going to have him throw a fryer into someone's face because that's cool. You know, like.
Well, the cast in that movie made it.
Yeah.
Like Jackie Earle Haley as Rorschach. That made me like an instant Jackie Earle Haley fan. Like he was fucking awesome in that movie.
Oh my!
Same with Patrick Wilson.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
I quote that one scene all the time, like that. I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me.
Yeah.
Screaming at him. It's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like,
you know,
Watchmen was good.
Yep.
Watchmen was really good. I liked it.
You know what's funny is a lot of people actually get that line mistaken from Watchmen and actually put it into Batman Begins. That a lot of people, it's the scene where Bruce is beating up all the fucking prisoners, and then they take him away, and like as he's being dragged, he's like, "What are you doing? I don't need protection." And the guy's like, "It's not protection for you. It's protection for them from you."
Yeah.
And then people, honestly, I've seen it where people mistaken it, where they think it's Bruce Wayne screaming, "I'm not in here with you. You're in here with me." And it's like, no, that's not.
Bruce Wayne's not that crazy,
right? Like that
Bruce
is.
Wayne saying, "I don't need protection" is very Bruce Wayne, but saying you're stuck in here with me is. I mean, that could be Batman. He depends on the Batman, I guess. Like, I don't know.
But still, like modern day Bruce Wayne, no, he's not gonna say something like that. He's not gonna say anything at all. He'll just break your fucking bones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he won't throw deep fryer oil into your face either. Right. I don't think.
No, that's
break Jason... your neck with a punch.
Yeah.
That's Jason Todd vibe.
Yeah, that's a Jason Todd vibe, yeah. Dude, okay, you talking about breaking necks. I just fucking watched a College Humor's old skits of Bad Man, where it's Pete Holmes dressed up as Batman. And it was the one where they got oh my god, I'm gonna feel bad. He's played the Penguin in the short. Patton Oswalt. He was the Penguin, the Cobblepot. And it's the one where this one I love it to death still, where it's Batman not realizing, or he's been lied to throughout his entire life, that he's not killing people, he's just putting them to bed.
Like sleeping.
Yeah, they're just sleeping. Oh, the poor guy's all tuckered out. He had nothing enough. I just helped him go to bed. And it's just talking like that the whole time. And Commissioner Gordon and Penguin are like, Are you serious right now? Like your parents, you know, they were he does this thing. He's like, no, they're not. They went up to a farm upstate, a really nice farm. And that's where all rich people go when they go to bed forever or whatever. And it's like, oh my god. Sorry, I just talking about this shit kind of reminded me about that. But speaking of Batman, Lib, you have an interesting story that you could tell, that we will tell right after our sponsors.
Ooh.
Oh, all right. The sponsors for today is obviously still us, the Select Start Network. Simple, super simple syrup. I don't know, maybe a bit of both. I'm losing my words right now.
Syrup.
If you like what you see and you want to support us, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. One of the easiest and best ways too, though, is to go to patreon.com/Select Start Network. We're at the low tier of $2 Canadian, $1.20 American. You go ahead and support us. If you want to see this happening right now, live and uncut, like Will, like some of our other ones that our patrons are doing so at the moment. Super simple. You go to that fucking live and uncut level. You go ahead and you subscribe to that, and then you get that. You get discounts. You get so much more. Live Q&As. When we start doing them, we're gonna have some patron polls, the whole 9 yards. If that sounds cool, awesome. Patreon.com/SelectStartNetwork is your place to go. If you can't support us that way, it is totally fine. We understand money is tight, especially during these times. You can go ahead and just give us a follow on YouTube, follow us on social, spread the word of Select Start Network if you can. Also, just check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/SSN Plays, where you will see people like myself, Michael, Lib, and Colin go ahead and stream different games or even podcasts. Which, by the way, speaking about that, I believe starting next week, Stephanie Ma and I are going to be starting a new podcast, our show. I believe it's going to be on Monday. We have to figure out some of the details. Well, we're going to be talking about all the gaming news that you guys want to hear, plus an esports corner. And there's nothing hotter right now that's happening than the SI Invitationals. And you can catch all that starting next week. But for now, we're going to go back to the show. Boop. Look at that. Look at that.
Well done.
I have my moments. I don't do much in this life. I'm pathetic. I'm a fat, lazy lover. My God, can I segue? All right. Lib, you have a story about a traumatic event that could have turned you into Batman at one point. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about it?
Or the Joker.
Or the Joker, depending on what the ending of the story could have been.
All right. It's a pretty simple story, but it's kind of a funny one of my childhood. It actually brings me joy, even though that's going to sound weird, but it's because you got to wait for it. So as a kid, I went to this babysitter's house. My family was friends with them, so it was pretty cool, like pretty tight. And we were really good with the one babysitter. Like, she was really cool. But she had a couple of people that would help her out, and some of those people weren't the most splendid people in the world. I feel like everybody's got a bad babysitter story or something from their life at ever. So one day I brought my Batman action figure to the babysitters because I love Batman and I wanted to play with my Batman action figure. And I, to this day, don't know what I did, but I had pissed off one of the helpers so much that she took my Batman action figure. She just took it from me. And she didn't give it to me at the end of the day. She just took it from me, held onto it, and I had no idea what happened to it. And I was really sad. And I was crying and shit. I was having a rough fucking day. And I mean, when a kid is upset about something, you take his Batman away, he's only going to get more upset, right?
Yeah.
So I come home, I've had a bad day, I'm not really happy. And my mom asked me, she's like, "Hey, where's Batman at?" Like, she's like,
"Yeah, where's Bats?
Where's
Bruce? Where's Bruce? Where's Brucey?
Where'd all Batsy go?" So she asked me where it is, and I'm like, "Oh, Mrs. Whatever took it away from me because I was being bad or whatever." And my mom was like, "What?" She was like, I was like, "Yeah, she took it away. Like, she just has it now. I don't know." My mom was like, "Bullshit." And she put me in the car, and we drove over to that house, and my mom yelled at this lady until I got my goddamn Batman action figure back.
There he is.
And as you can see, I got it back. So, moral of the story, my mom's a badass, and doesn't matter what I'm doing. If someone takes my Batman action figure, she's going to kick some ass to get it back.
Jesus Christ.
That's a traumatic story in my life that ties to this action figure. I was just thinking about it because a couple of weeks ago, my mom found this in the basement. It was like, "Do you remember when I got your Batman back from you?" And I was like, "I'll never forget, Mama." I never go forget.
Found it in her basement.
Yeah, I know.
I'll never forget. I'll never forget. Just tosses it in the trash.
So that was my funny story. I mean, wasn't much, but I mean, I just think it's funny because some fucking old lady stole my Batman, and my mom wasn't having any of that.
Oh, dude, that's
probably really sad to lose it.
Yeah,
she was probably playing it with the whole time.
Yeah, she had a Joker.
She knew how much I liked it. Like, this was like a good year of my life I spent just playing as Batman. And then some random lady just takes it away from me, and my mom was like, "Fuck no." Fuck no.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's funny that you brought that image up, or that toy up, because it got me a flashback of, I think, I can only describe as probably one of the best toys that I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm pretty sure I got them at a Value Village. And it was, I don't know if you guys remember this. This was before your time. So this is more going towards Tom, Michael, Colin, maybe even Will might have remembered this. It was these Power Ranger action figures. They're about yay tall, and they had the most flexible joints of all time. And this is why I think they are the greatest kids line of toys ever made, because you could literally pose them any way that you wanted to. Like their hands, their fingers moved. Like you can either have like finger blast guns if you wanted, or you can have like you can close them completely. The wrist moved, the elbow moved, the shoulders, the hips, the knees, the feet, the head, everything fucking moved. The torso, it all moved.
Jeez.
And it's like it is this moment that I realized, I'm like, toys just they're not like this anymore. Like you literally cannot get these kind of toys anymore. And it's this moment of like I honestly believe and this is obviously nostalgia lenses, this is fucking rose-colored glasses, whatever you want to call it. But like I look at the toys nowadays, and a lot of them feels like they've been really dumbed down and simplified to a crazy degree. Cause like, I don't know if you guys remember, man, fucking Beasties or Beast Boys action figures, the Transformers. Like opening them up and trying to like fold them and mold them into like whatever pose that you could get. I don't see that anymore. Now it's like GoBots, and it's you're done.
GoBots. You just press a button now.
Yeah, like
I remember having a Starscream that I could not figure out for the fucking life of me. Like I would get him in jet mode, and then he would just stay there for a year because I couldn't get him back to Transformer mode. But I fucking loved it. I love that Starscream.
Dude,
I would get my mom to help me with my Transformers all the time.
Dude, I made it a mission when I was a kid where like I had the booklet, I would put it to the side, and I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. I never did. I'd have to give up and then go to the booklet. But at that point, you know, like fucking Dinobots are like twisted and deformed and stuff. And it's like, well, I should have done this at the get-go. But I still remember, this is still one of my favorite figures of all time. And I had two of them. I don't know if you guys can remember this character. One of them was Optimus Prime, but it's Optimus Prime Transmetal 2, where he was purple and blue, blue and orange, excuse me, and he could transform into a jet, he could transform into a tank, he could transform into a robot or a monkey. And this dude was like, he was a honking dude, like he was huge. And then I had that one, and it was a Decepticon, but I couldn't remember what his name is, but he was basically a giant crab that could turn into a tank, that could fly, and had like this his lore. And I don't know why I remember the Beasties lore so much. Also, for our American friends in Canada, Beast Wars was called Beasties on White TV. That's what it was called. But anyways,
why do I remember it as Beast Wars?
Because you might have watched it on Fox. You might have watched it on Fox.
I'm pretty sure I watched it on YTV. I don't know.
Yeah, it also could have been like the advertisement that they had, right? All the commercials, like for the toy line, was always Beast Wars. So maybe that's why it got imprinted in your mind as that. But this crab dude, I remember. I don't know why. This is a franchise, the Beasties franchise. I remember so goddamn well, and I don't know why. Because this dude, except for the name, the names are always the things that I struggle with. But this dude, I remember, he had such a fucked up lore where he was like this prisoner that Optimus Prime was supposed to be taken care of, and this dude was so fucked up and so messed up that they basically were gonna set him for execution, where they removed his spark and they were gonna destroy it. But somehow I think like half his spark got fucked up, and he ends up by like splitting it off with the new Dinobot and himself, and the other part of the spark is inside of like because once the new Dinobot dies, I was about to call him Megamind. Oh my god,
it's the crab one. Ultra class Rampage, is that his
Rampage name? That's what it was. It was Rampage. Oh my god, I love Rampage, dude. He was a serial killer in a kids show. Like there's a moment where he's like literally torturing one of the spiders and like ripping off limbs and like killing fucking Sabretooth and stuff. Like it was so messed up, dude. Cool. I loved him. He ends up by killing his like patrol. Like basically think about him as a state trooper who like finds him finally and goes to like bring him to justice. But instead, the only way to win to get rid of him, to get rid of this filth, is the dude drives like a spear into his like nuclear fucking power core, which is like his now like supercharged fucking spark, and kills them both. Like, come on, you don't get that kind of shit no more.
Dude, fucking Beast Wars was hitting some heavy-handed topics.
Dude, Beasties were so good. And then, I remember it was only like 3 seasons. It's insane. But like I think this is also back in the day when seasons for kids weren't just 24 episodes. They were like 30 or more. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you remember. Yeah, like I don't. Yeah, like I don't know if you remember fucking Power Rangers, but the original Power Rangers was like 52 episodes for 1 season. Didn't make any sense.
Because they just keep putting out episodes. They're like they weren't even worried about the seasons of it. Of like trying to whatever and all.
Oh my
but
god,
like,
yeah. But yeah, anyways,
I just want to say
my
one question is
what's up?
Oh, sorry, you can finish with Power Rangers first because mine's going away from it.
It's for my I just want to end it with like the unfortunate thing of Beasties is when they ended it, they then led into Beast Machines, and that one was they tried to be a bit too adult for it, and it kind of unfortunately fell apart. But what's your question?
My question is, do kids still play with Lego?
Yes.
Yeah, it depends. So Sam does every now and then. Like he's 8 years old. He's gonna be 8 by next week. And he does, but he prefers building in Minecraft. He's at that stage.
Same principles.
Yeah. But
and you don't have to clean it up afterwards.
Yeah, pretty much. And you don't have to step on it and hurt your fucking foot.
Kids, I just think about my childhood, and one of the staples of what I used to do is we had a big old bucket of Lego. We had a couple big old buckets just full of random Lego in there. We'd go in there and try and build houses or build castles or whatever. And I remember like we had this one big castle set with all these mountains you could connect together. Like I just remember doing that, and I was like, I wonder, like I don't think that's like as much as a thing. Like I don't think kids have a big old bucket of Lego anymore.
No,
that doesn't.
You're right. It feels like what they push now. And Sam has gotten stuff from Tracy and myself for birthdays and Christmases and all that. It's all about sets now. Like you can get one of the sets. We got like a Jurassic Park or a Jurassic World capture set or whatever set or this set. Or now for the adults, they have like the 3,000 piece Lego Millennium, the Millennium Falcon or the Death Star and shit like that. Or Mega Bloks has like their line of Halo sets. Yeah, nowadays it's like it's no longer. It feels like as an outsider, obviously, because I'm no longer a child. I am here.
Legos no more?
I mean, sometimes. But it is this idea of like it's no longer make something, make a bridge, make a castle, or you know what I mean. All these other ideas. Now it's just. We're telling you what you're making with these pieces. You have this amount of pieces for this toy, and that's it. If you go under or over, you're fucked. You screwed it up. Yeah, your dad's gonna hate you. Your mom's gonna leave you. You're a piece of garbage human being. That's what it feels like.
They had that when we were kids too. Like when
yes.
you were watching Beast Wars on YTV, you had your commercials for the sets for Beast Wars or all those toys. But they also have the Lego Creator or Creations like line as well. So that's just. Here's your random pieces.
Yeah, go have fun.
I feel like for me at least, it was always we got the set, and then my dad, because my dad just liked whenever we got Legos, he'd help us build it. Which me and my brother would never actually want to build the thing, but he would make us build it first. He'd be like, "No, we're gonna build the set first." Then as soon as we build the set, he's like, "Okay, you guys can play with this or whatever." So me and Sidon would usually just take it apart, and then when we're done, we just throw it in the chest, and then it gets lost in all the other pieces. But then I remember once when we were kids, my dad was big into Halo, which meant that me and my brother were playing Halo at like 8 years old. We weren't good, but we were playing it against my dad. We'd go 2v1, and then he would yell at us for screen peeking. And say he was so good that he didn't need to screen peek, but he just screen peeked all the time.
Yeah.
He just would say that he wasn't. Anywho, he got us a couple of warthogs, I think, for one Christmas or something, or my grandma did, because they knew we liked Halo. So then I remember we literally just kept the warthogs out, because then we would just use them as cars for whatever. We build a city, then your warthogs are like, you're gotta go to work, taking my warthog to but I love that because it was like one, we were like trying to make the bakery, and it's like half fucking medieval castle, half it's just I used to love that as a kid, and I'm like, I guess Minecraft would kind of be like that, that creation, build whatever you want. It's a bit more organized than Lego because I mean, depending on which game mode you play, if you play creation, there's no finite resources, but I don't know. It's like I just remember that being a big thing for me. It was Lego was always huge. That was always my go-to. It was like we were bored, let's go build something in Lego. Let's go, make a city. We never finished it, but
Yeah.
we'd always try.
Yeah, I think
I'm just thinking about all those kid toys we used to play with, right? Like,
yeah. See, for me, it's Legos were a big thing when I was younger. Like when I was young, like probably up to the age of I'm gonna say maybe 5 or 6. But after that, it was like I fell in love with Power Rangers. So Power Rangers was the big thing for me. And then from Power Rangers, it was even before that, it was Ninja Turtles. So like I didn't really live in the world of building. I was more in the world of imagination for me back then, like just like playing make believe with the toys. But yeah, when Minecraft came out, for me that was it, man. Like you guys weren't around for this. Tom was kind of, but like he wasn't. You weren't living with us at this time, or you had moved. It's one of the two. But like when I was using Minecraft, I was using it to build games within the world of Minecraft. So like I would build like a gladiator pit where like monsters would get spawned in and you have to fight them, try to survive. And I'd make a let's play out of it, or I make a maze and we try to figure our ways out, and I'd make a let's play out of that, or we do a battleship or like a pirate ship fight type of thing. Like we would do all these other things. I think that's where my creativity went. It wasn't to visualize, oh, I'm gonna build a city in Minecraft, or I'm gonna make a cool sculpture. For me, it's like, how am I gonna use the game's mechanics to make another game? How do I like expand upon what's already there? That's always how I played Minecraft, all the time.
oh yeah, dude. I do that now in every game. Well, I basically like we'll play like Apex or like Smite or like well, I mean I'm actually like me and my buddies are out in this big Minecraft kick right now. We just started like a survival server,
Yeah,
and like we all got like full netherite gear and stuff, and we're making a bunch of shit. Like we're full sending into it.
yeah.
But like we literally will always hit a wall of like boredom, and then we just start doing shit. Like we did one time we got bored and we did the Apex Olympics where we would just make a challenge for every person at Apex.
Okay.
Like, and it was all just random. The one was we all went Wraith, and it was like we just go into like the training grounds.
Yeah.
And we all played Wraith, and we would slide, like the top spawn hill, and then you can just slide down.
Yeah.
So we would start our portal at the top, slide down to the bottom, and then 2 people would go to the top with Krabers, and one person had to basically pick a portal without the other 2 seeing, while the other 2 committed to shooting one of the portals.
Yeah.
And it was just a luck game, right? You had to guess or whatever. Like it was so stupid, but we still do that every game. We just make up shit to do because at some point you can do so much more with the game's limitations.
Yeah.
And if you're truly bored enough, you can like play any game you want. Like you really can.
Oh man. Okay, so this is talking about like modern games, and this is gonna be something that people have already heard me talk about before. I don't care. I'm gonna bring it up now because we're talking about this. I think this is why I'm a big fan, and I actually say with all its faults, I still love Siege, because Siege is a game where I can, all right, if I want, let's just play fucking shooters. I'm gonna run in, pow, 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 cool, it's done. All right, let's make it a bit more interesting. I open up this wall. All right, I might be able to sneak in, or I can throw a smoke here, or if or if I'm defending, I can just hold sight, or I can roam, or I can make this fucking hole that looks down all the way down to basement, where I know that's where the default plant is, and I can just fucking sit there and I can wait. Or I can be Ella in Oregon, and I could be in CCTV, blow open the ceiling. I could see them jumping from big window, and just once I hear my Gersmont go off, bang, 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 they're dead. And at the same time, I got a Gersmont on white stairs. On
stream. I do that all the time. I don't want other people seeing that.
Dude, I fucking love it. Or I'm Oryx now. This is one thing I've been doing a lot more with Oryx on Oregon. I'll run to the garage door. I'll blow open the hatch and armory. I'll lay prone by the actual door frame in garage. Bust open the bottom part. Someone runs by from spawn. I shoot them, and everyone else spawns out, and they get mad. They try to blast me. I just jump up the hatch and I get the fuck out. Like, oh my god, dude, that's why I love that game, because you could do so much shit like that. Like sometimes it's selfish, like what I just described. Other times it can be helpful, like when I was Ella with the shoddy, which fight me, the shoddy is the best shoddy in the game. It is an automatic with a laser beam. You can make rotates.
For that. I use that every round. I use Ella.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so much better than the Scorpion, right? It's situational.
So fast.
Yeah, it's situational, which I will admit, but that is one of the best shotguns. And some people will argue with me, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, what about the boss G?" I'm like, that's not a shotgun. Yes, I understand it's a shotgun. It shoots a slug. It is a 2-shot sniper. Fuck off. But
dude, here's my hot take on that real quick. That is one of the best flanking guns in the game. You can pick up a squad wipe with that thing on one clip. If you get behind them and they're playing stupid and you're behind 3 people, you can get all those kills just without even ADSing. Just fucking annihilate them.
Well,
I love Ella shotgun. All my friends shit on it.
Yeah. Well, like my last night when we were on stream, I was Ella. We were on Oregon, and I was downstairs in CC, and people were starting to push by elevator. Someone came up by white, I believe. I went boom. I got rid of them. Shotgun the shit out of them. They were gone. I can then rotate around. I rotated all the way around. Where I can't remember who it was, but someone was waiting on stairs. It might have been Ash. They're looking into attic because they just opened it up. I blast their ass. They're gone. I rotate all the way back, and then I think I got someone in. I think I might have gotten someone in trophy, or there was someone in trophy, and then there's someone that showed up on attic. And if I would have flicked fast enough, I could have gotten the guy in attic, and then I could have turned around and get the next guy. And like it's these angles and these openings that we have that you can't do in other games, right? Because yes, I understand Valorant. People love when I talk Valorant because I always talk about how much I hate the game, jokingly. And the only reason I do that is because people love trying to shit on Siege because it's a game that I like. But anyways, in Valorant and in CS:GO, I understand that there are some walls that are like that you can penetrate through, like some right.
But that's it.
That's it. Like you can't make a hole. You can't. It's guesswork sometimes when you try to figure out where they are. It's not the same. And in those games, a lot of the time it becomes very repetitive, where it's smoke, go here, do this, do that, go plant. With Siege, yes, there is a lot of basic plans that you can do. All right, we're going to open up the wall. You're going to smoke. I'm going to run in. I'm going to go plant and default. Cool. Here's the problem. They brought a warden. All right, your smoke idea doesn't work. What do you do now? Okay, well, we can't use Ying because Ying, the Candelas won't work against him. Here's what we're doing. We're going to bring a Kali. We're going to get rid of his shield. We're going to push him out. And then we can try to do that. And someone's watch my kitchen to make sure they can't come around and get us or whatever. Like, there's so much that you can do. Like, we executed a plant last night on Oregon. This is the one I keep coming back to because it's the one that's the freshest in my mind. Where there was someone in elbow bunker, and I accidentally, but I still did it. I accidentally flashed my teammates because I threw the flash. I threw a second one. The guy had smoked, so I was taking damage. I'm like, I don't fucking care. I just rushed through because I knew he was going to be afraid. I rushed bunker elbow. I got rid of him. I got rid of the frost that ran across double door. Someone else got rid of one of the last guys. There's one left. We plant, and I'm like, all right, it's super simple now. It's Doc. He can't make impacts. I'm watching Big Tower. You go watch Laundry. Someone watch Freezer. All right, here we go. I'm sitting my pillar. I'm like, all right, he's here. I can hear him. I shoot a couple times. It doesn't work. Like, he hits me. I hit him a little bit. He then, as I was about to make a really bad mistake, I had a Candela. I threw it at him on top of big stairs. Steph comes by, and she's going to look at big stairs too. He starts shooting me, but I guess he panics and starts shooting at her. Kills her. As my Candelas go off, I peg him off. Boom, he's dead. I'm like, there, we just fucking won. Like that. Like, come on. You can't do that in other games, man.
Yeah, I will say, I think going along with that, sorry, Tom, I feel like I wasn't trying to. It's just that, like, comparable to other games, because I'm just thinking about this, is that and it kind of that same thing with like what I was saying about Apex, we just do stupid strats. Like, that's the thing. You do dumbass strats, you do stupid plays, because it's fun. But you can win like that.
Yeah, you can.
If you play Overwatch, and Overwatch is kind of dead now, and I have a lot of thoughts on the new one coming out. We won't talk about it today, but
all right, next podcast.
We in Overwatch, if you pick a character like fucking Symmetra or something, and she's not meta, you're losing. You're instantly at a disadvantage. Yeah. Rainbow Six, you pretty much pick anybody, you could win with them.
Yep.
Like, people shit on, like, well, they don't, not as more because Blitz is a lot better, but people used to shit on Blitz a lot, but then like you could still get a win on, because it's so much less about the characters. It's more about the versatility and the skill of the game.
Yep.
That like the only pick I can kind of maybe see as a throw pick is if like your person who's really bad at aiming picks Callie, and it's like, okay, well now you
Yeah.
don't have the fire rate to go with it, but still, she's a good character who's got a lot of versatility. Like you could do so much.
Yeah.
Like I think maybe the only throw pick is not going with a hard breach. That's like the only thing. But the hard breachers are so much fun in that game.
Yeah.
Like Thermite Ace is so much fun. Even Hiban is so much fun. Like fucking play. Like I really like that versatility. I like the idea that you could, if you really like a character, play them. Fucking play them. Who's stopping you? Like you know. And I think that that's another thing too. Like if I don't like when teammates are like they try to like subject you into like the like maybe like they want you just to play like the Thatcher role, something like that. They're trying to put you in a box, and it's like, well, like let me bounce around. Like you're like, well, I'll go Twitch actually. Like I can still go after the walls, but I like Twitch's guns better. I like all this stuff. And then some people will be like, no, play Thatcher. He's better. Like
he's not banned. Pick Thatcher.
Like honestly, like as much as you want, as much as like Thatcher's good and shit, some places you just get in with a good nade and you do the job just as well. Like it's so like it's counter picky, but not to an extent that some characters are just like Ying is still good if there is a warden, but she's significantly less good because there's somebody who can just directly counter it. Same with wardens, a lot better when there's like a Ying or like they're going a blitz or heavy flash base. But even when he's not, he's got the MPX and he can counter smokes and shit. Like there's so much versatility to the game and the counters and stuff that you put anybody against anybody and it's an even matchup. Like you could win, like it all comes down to skill. Like, you put somebody with like a fucking, you put Ying or Clash against a blitz, then it's probably going more towards the blitz. But I mean, that's still, Clash can win that matchup. You can win matchups against anyone.
Well, because then at that point,
you can win 1v5s. 1v5s aren't game overs. You can come back and
I almost did that a couple days ago where I was playing as Finka. And I had to do a challenge where it was high noon, so I had to only use my pistol. And I go, and I'm the last one alive, and they're all rushing me. We were in border, and they're all coming down east hallway. I pig off two of them. One accidentally blows up his teammate. It's fine. I go and I get the bomb. I go to plant it in fucking armory, and I whiff. Not in the way that you would think, where it's the last one. It's Valkyrie. I go to plant. I can hear them rotating around by metal. I move. I look up to try to shoot. They throw a C4, and I get 50 points for bomb detection, and I get 10 points for something else. I'm like, okay, cool. I got the C4. I can now push and get rid of this fucking Valk. I then look down and I blow up because the C4 was still there. And we had to fucking go back to the clip to find out what happened. And it was,
you saw like the other bomb on site.
No. I got 50 points for finding the bomb. The 10 points that I got, which I thought was for destroying the C4, was because I shot a Jaeger EDS behind Valk. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, come on. It was the dream. It was 1v1. I had 8 shots, like literally 8 shots left in my PMM. Like, this was the clutch moment. And I fucking shot an ADS and thought it was the C4.
I mean, I don't think, we don't blame you for that.
Dude.
I will say, like, just the last thing about Siege. I think that game, more than anything, has gotten the response out of me where, like, I get a late game clutch or I get the fucking 1v4 or something like that, where I just get out of my chair. I'm like, let's fucking go. And I'm like, oh my God. It's like the only game that does that for me. Like,
it is the highest of highs and the lowest of lows.
Yeah, and then you go get fucking spawn killed the next round. Like,
right?
Just on your phone.
And like, Tom, you're the perfect person for this because like you just started playing Siege.
Yeah, so everything that you guys are talking about is way than that.
It's that deep level of Siege that when you get into it.
And like,
I wonder how many people play. Like, how much hours do you guys have in on Siege?
Okay,
I would
real talk.
Some ridiculous amount.
Hold on, I can find out.
I'm wondering if I can look this up.
Okay, so I did play Siege a little bit back on console. It wasn't much because the Siege on console, for those who don't know, there is no aim assist for a controller at all. So like you have to land your shots. The recoil back then was also really bad because this is when the first upon release Siege, right? But on PC, I'm going to remove I'll remove 100 hours due to accidentally being AFK and the game getting shut off. I'm going to remove 100 hours from that. I have a total, according to Steam, of 2,254 hours in this game.
Fuck's sakes.
I want to try and pull up my numbers here because I'm pretty sure, not Siege, but I'm pretty sure my Overwatch numbers actually beat that. I've played so much Overwatch in my life, but I will say just about the no aim assist thing. I'm gonna use this to toot my own horn and said I made it to fucking plat on console.
Yeah, so
it's not easy at all. And I know for a fact that if I brought my controller skills onto a PC lobby, I would be absolutely fucked in the ass because
no, I still don't believe
dude,
that.
I would be. Here's the thing. I was playing on PC at the time. My aim was actually decent on mouse, which I'm proud of, but my movement was absolute shit. But I do wonder, like, I think if I was at a plat level PC lobby, I would get bodied. But I think maybe like gold, silver,
I could honestly. No, in all honesty, high silver, mid gold, you would be able. You would be. It'd be a competition. You know what I mean? Because I've seen you play on controller, and I get that it's there. But yeah, it is this problem on console versus PC as an example. Like on maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you can explain this, Slip. But I feel like on console, a lot more of it is you're staying stationary and you're holding at the angle and you're waiting for someone to cross to get them. Versus, am I wrong on this? Or are you guys just fucking monkeys?
Depends on the play style. I think the thing is, it's like there's a lot of different play styles in Siege. I'm an Oonga Boonga man. I run around, I play the 3 speeds, and I look for kills. So I'm able to get those kills on the move. Like I adapt when I'm in my prime. I haven't played in a bit, so like I could not just go and do that now. But like I was able to do that. But I remember my buddy Logan, who I don't know if I've mentioned him on the podcast.
I think I've played with him.
He's good guy, really good friend. We kind of just got him into Siege a little bit ago because for a while we played like Siege for like a month straight. We just do that with every game. We just rotate and play it like a shit ton. So for when we got him onto Siege, he was really new to it, and we were good. So we were like, hey, just stick with like Doc on defense. You want to go Doc and Rook? They're pretty simple, and you just stay on point and try to. So he was honestly really good. He's got good FPS skills. So he was winning a ton of gunfights just by staying pretty stationary and on point. And he could just win those just aiming gunfights in corridors and shit. And like, so on Rush to the Point, he could gun him down. But then the counter is he's like, I want to try and learn new characters. We're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. We don't care. So then he'd pick a roamer and just have no idea what he's doing because he doesn't know the name. And like, Logan, why are you playing Jaeger on point with like 2 minutes left into the round? You should be going out and map a bit. He's like, I didn't know where to go. I just came back. And we're like, okay.
That's me playing right now.
Like, it's like gun skill comes in like a lot of different ways. And gun skill's huge in that game. It's probably the most important factor. Like, actually, no, maybe map knowledge is. I think map knowledge might be a little bit more important. But it's map knowledge than gun skill.
Yeah.
You can win fights. You can beat people just by knowing the map better. But when it comes down to a 1v1, whoever's got the better gun skills usually coming out on top. But like, I don't know, like it's, Sinjin, well, Sinjin's more Oonga Boonga than me because he truly does not care when he plays video games. Like, yes, he wants to win, but not at a point that would discourage him from having fun.
Yeah.
So he'll just do whatever he wants. My buddy Alex is an absolute gremlin. Like, again, my friends are crazy. My buddy Alex literally runs the boss G every round. He'll run Vigil boss G every single round. And he swears by it. And he's like, the boss G is the best gun in the game. And we're like, Alex, that's not true.
And
he's
bullshit.
like, oh yeah. And then he gets a 4K with it. We're like, what the hell? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. Like but then, like my one buddy Dan that we play with too, he's a lot more tactical. He'll play the point. He's more about the map knowledge and shit and less about the, trying to take moving gunfights.
Yeah.
He tries to play it really smart. It's really different. I think maybe console, it does favor you a little bit to stay stationary. But I mean, staying stationary helps your aim anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But you can adapt that gun skill to fight while moving. Like, but right, like you can. I think they are very similar. I think that the difference would be I think people go for maybe less or more peaks. I don't know. Peaks are like, I feel like on console, people who go for peaks, nobody, like, you just miss each other.
Yeah,
Whereas on PC, like, when you go for peak, someone's dying. Like,
yeah.
I think that's a big difference for me.
Yeah, someone is.
It's that rapid aiming, you know?
Yeah. No, I got that for sure.
The sustained, you can control recoil and sustained aim on a controller. It's all about the flicks. It's all about that first shot. And that first shot really matters in Siege. That's why there's I feel like that's like a big disconnect between PC and console. As the console players start shooting, and usually the headshot's like the 5th round.
Yeah.
PC players, that headshot is a lot of times that first shot, you hit it, and then the recoil comes in.
All right, but okay, so Tom, we're gonna wrap up with this. All right, we're not gonna do a post show today, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. I do have some errands that I have to run today, but business related stuff. Tom, your experience thus far, what you've liked, what you've hated, what you want to see in yourself or see change in general from what you've played so far in Siege.
I to be honest, watching you guys play, like when you got a full team without me on it,
yeah.
And everyone's communicating properly, it's awesome watching you guys play. And I would like to get to that point. I need to learn maps. I need to learn basically everything about the game, but I enjoy it so far. I typically play single player games, and this is like my first foray into this like hardcore of the game. So I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
Yeah. Is there what from what you've seen so far, is there something inside of Siege that you like a lot?
Like what do you mean?
Well, like let's just say like is it like you like the operators, or do you like the whole destruction thing? Like is there something that really sticks out to you for the game that's making you want to play it again? Like keep going back to it.
I want to be awesome at it. That's like there's so much that you got to work with in this game. It's not just knowing the map, it's knowing everything. Like when I watch you play, you just drop a grenade and oh shit, that's where the guy is right underneath you. So I like to get to that point. That's
okay. So for you, it's the competitors, the idea of competition and improving is really like it's grabbing at you, right?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Sure.
See, for me, that's how I started too. Where like I knew nothing, and like the idea of like, oh, I got my first kill. Oh, I got my first round win. I got one of my first match. I got my first clutch. Like what? Like that shit starts. Oh, dude, that takes a while, right? Like I got my ace. I got your first ace is like, oh, it doesn't matter if it's quick play or ranked or unranked. Like fuck yeah, I wiped out an entire squad. That's the shit that gets you.
And there's like your first ace, and then there's your first ace with a full 5 stack.
Yeah.
Where you get like 4 kills, and then you're like, nobody shoot him, no one touch him, he's mine. And then like your whole team, like I think, and then you get your ace robbed just because they're like, I panicked, I shot, and you're like, I understand, but I fucking hate you right now. Like, oh
meanwhile,
god.
When I play now, I've got Will telling me I've got to kill everybody. No one else is gonna shoot someone.
Yeah, yesterday it was we ended up getting into a match where people were getting butthurt and they left, and it ended up being like a 3v5 like for the enemy team. They were down to 3. And like Will would be like, all right, Tom, you're just gonna go in. You're gonna go in and you're gonna kill everyone now. And Tom's like, what? No, what? And like, but to Tom's credit, you got kills. Like you were getting kills. But I'm sitting there. I'm like, I can't just sit here and not do anything. So I go inside. I plant the bomb. I'm like, if someone comes and sees me, I'm gonna blast their fucking face off. That's gonna happen. But yeah, it is this idea of especially playing with someone new on my side. It's actually relearning some of the basics has helped me quite a bit. Of like placing things in certain areas or talking about, you know, like, oh, you put this reinforcement here. Why do I? Oh yeah, because you have to avoid this, and that, and it makes sense. It starts, you know, those ideas start coming in. But yeah, that is, I think, why I love this game so much, and it's why I've been playing it since Parabellum, and it's been like 3 to 4 years now. I've been playing this nonstop, and I fucking love it. Man.
It shows. Like, you're clearly awesome at the fucking game.
There are people far above better than me, but I want to get back to that where I've tasted plat once, and I keep saying it on stream. I'm always the bridesmaid. I'm never the bride in this game. I only had it once, and then I got divorced, and now I want my second chance at a new man. And I'm just grabbing at it, and I'm grabbing at it, and I'm always like 1 or 2 games off, and it drives me nuts when it happens. Oh yeah.
So, Justin, how many hours did you have in Siege?
Yeah.
It up.
All right. Gotcha. So altogether, if I remove 100 from being AFK, I have 2254.
2254.
Yeah.
I got 1369.
Oh,
So I'm like halfway.
I am the biggest nerd.
I have the least amount of life. Yes.
I'm
gonna go see my Overwatch though, because I feel like my Overwatch is actually upsetting.
Okay, yeah, go for it real quick. We'll wait. But we'll talk about this real quick. Tom brought it in chat or in the Discord that there's yet more talk about a Highlander remake or Highlander sequel, depending which way you want to look at it. I think it's a remake where they now want Henry Cavill to play Connor McLeod, and if this is still the same kind of rumors as before, they want Dave Bautista to play the Clancy Brown character from there. I can't remember his name right now. Kurgan? I think it's Kurgan. Yeah, Kurgan. So it would be David Bautista and Henry Cavill in a movie together. Could you imagine?
That'd be cool as shit. I support that.
Beefcakes all around.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And
Shit watching that movie.
before you find your hours, Alib?
Yes, I have.
All right. Before we leave and before we end on this note of how many hours Lib has had, reminder. So tomorrow for Snatum, we're actually not doing Doom because, funny enough, Zack Snyder has a movie that came out this Friday called Army of the Dead. That's what Tom and I are going to be reviewing tomorrow. So we'll see you guys there. It's going to be a good time. But finish us off. Top us off, Lib. How many hours have you have in Overwatch?
All right. So objectively speaking, we're saying you spent a lot of time playing Siege. You got 2,200 hours, right?
Yeah.
On Overwatch, I have 27.
Oh, you just the same beat me, you piece of garbage. God
damn. And you know what the best part is that I played Overwatch while I was depressed.
Jesus Christ. All right, guys. With that note, downer? Oh, that doesn't include my ults. With my ults, I might be able to beat Lib. Huzzah!
Hey, that doesn't include my ults on Overwatch.
Shit! All right, fine. All right, never mind. We're not bringing it up. All right, guys, we're going to call it there for the podcast today. Thank you so much for joining us. No post show. Like I said, we got some adulting to do, some business stuff on my end. But thank you, everyone, for joining. We love y'all, and we will catch you tomorrow and on some streams throughout the week. So, bye.